You were born into a world already broken. A world that chose fear over freedom. A world where titans, towering monsters, grotesque reflections of mankind's failure roamed the earth as gods of terror. Before you took your first breath, before you even had the strength to cry out, your fate had been decided. You would live behind walls, not to be free, but to be livestock, a tiny soul in a tiny cage, surrounded by monsters on every side. Walls built not of stone alone, but of fear, cowardice, surrender. They told you, this is safety. They whispered, this is peace. They lied. The Titans, they were not just outside those walls. They were inside you. In the fear that gripped your heart every time you heard the stories. In the silence that wrapped around every conversation, every memory, every dream you were told not to have. The people accepted it. They accepted living like cattle. They bowed their heads to fate, to fear, to chains they no longer even saw. They became prisoners so long ago they forgot what freedom even tasted like. But not all of us forgot. Some of us felt it. The sting of humiliation when titans devoured our homes. The rage when they ripped apart everything we ever loved. And the world dared to call it destiny. The hatred, pure and burning, that swallowed us whole when we realized that this life was not life at all, but a slow, rotting death in a golden cage. You know that feeling, don't you? That sickness in your gut when you saw the smoke rising. That scream buried in your throat when you saw the gates fall. That hollow ache when the people you loved were torn apart and no one could do a damn thing about it. The world they left you. That was the gift they handed you at birth. A world where monsters ruled, and you were told to kneel. But deep inside you, something stirred, something ancient, something unbreakable, something that refused to accept the chains, that refused to bow to the titans, that refused to live as prey. You remembered. You remembered that we were not born to be eaten. We were not born to be afraid. We were not born to hide behind walls and pray for mercy. We were born to fight. To tear down the walls with our bloodied fists. To face the titans eye to eye, tooth to tooth. And to crush the monsters who thought they could own our lives. This world, this cursed, broken world, thought it could bury us in fear. It thought it could silence the fire burning in our souls. It thought it could make us forget what it means to be free. They were wrong. I am still here. You are still here. We are the storm they feared would come. The first time you saw them, the first time the Titans breached the walls, you realized something the others were too scared to face. The world is not fair. The world does not protect the weak. The world does not save those who kneel and beg for mercy. The world devours the weak, just like the Titans devour the helpless. It strips them of their dreams, their pride, their future, and spits out whatever is left, broken and forgotten. You could have turned away. You could have pretended you didn't see it, like the cowards do, covering their ears, blinding their eyes, clinging to the lie that safety would save them. But something inside you refused. You didn't run. You didn't hide. You made a vow that burned hotter than any fear the Titans could throw at you. I will kill them all. Every last one. It wasn't just hatred. It wasn't just revenge. It was something purer, something older, a defiance written into your blood. Long before you ever saw your first Titan, you swore it to yourself, that you would not die caged like cattle, that you would not live behind walls built from the bones of cowards. The Titans became more than enemies. They became the towering symbols of every chain wrapped around your soul. Every injustice the world tried to make you accept. Every moment they tried to make you small, and you understood, clearer than anyone else ever could. That freedom is not something you beg for. Freedom is not something given to you by kings or walls or prayers. Freedom is something you take. You take it with blood if you must. You take it with fire if you must. You take it even if the whole cursed world screams at you to stop. Because if you don't, if you stay silent, if you stay still, you might survive, but you will never be alive. And I would rather die standing than live a single day crawling at the feet of monsters. They don't tell you what freedom costs. They sing songs about it. They write their history soaked in the blood of the fallen, pretending it was all glorious, pretending it was all noble. They don't tell you the truth. Freedom is pain. Freedom is loss. Every inch you claw back from the Titans, from the monsters that swallowed your world, it costs something. You lose your home, you lose your family, you lose your friends, you lose the pieces of yourself you thought were unbreakable. And worst of all, you lose the dream. The dream of ever being the person you were before the world broke you. This is the truth. Every scream, every grave, every betrayal, every drop of blood carved into your flesh. It's the toll you pay to be free. And still, we move forward. Because what else is there? Slavery? Silence? Kneeling? Never. I would rather drown in oceans of blood. I would rather burn this world to its foundation than live even 1 second as a pawn in someone else's game. You don't see the line until you're standing at its edge, until everything you've ever known, everything you've ever trusted, burns away behind you. There comes a moment, a terrible, beautiful moment, when you realize that the path back no longer exists. When I stood before the shattered gates, when I watched the Titans pour in like a flood of death and madness, I understood it. There was no safety. There was no home. There was no salvation coming from beyond those walls. There was only forward. Through the blood, through the fire, through the Titans themselves. And once you see the truth that clearly, you can't go back. You can't unsee it. You can't crawl back to the lies they fed you when you were too young to fight. You can close your eyes and pretend the Titans aren't at the gate. You can beg. You can pray. You can rot in your cage until the monsters come for you anyway. Or you can stand up. You can bare your teeth. You can charge into the jaws of death, screaming your defiance into the face of oblivion itself. Because the truth is simple, isn't it? If you turn back now, you will die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will die. Empty. Chained. Forgotten. Retreat is death. Silence is death. Obedience is death. And if death is certain either way, then let it come with blood on your hands and the world shaking beneath your feet. There is no path back. There is only the road through the flames. And I will walk it. I will crush the chains. I will destroy the Titans. I will trample this cursed world beneath my feet until there is nothing left but freedom. Pain was never the enemy. Pain is the price you pay to live free. They taught us to fear pain, to hide from it, to run the moment we felt its touch. But the Titans did not care how much we feared. They came anyway. The walls did not save us from pain. They only delayed it until it crashed down upon us like a tidal wave of blood and broken bodies. Pain forged me. It hammered every weakness from my bones. Every scream, every fall, every shattered hope burned away the softness, leaving only steel. I learned that suffering is not something to escape. It is something you carry. It is something you wear into battle like armor. It is the weight that proves you are alive. And the more I suffered, the more I lost. The more unstoppable I became. Because pain teaches you the real truth of this world. That no one is coming to save you. That you are not special. That the Titans won't pity you. The kings won't mourn you. The gods won't weep for you. Only you. Only your will. Only your rage. Only your endless, raging hunger to move forward will save you. And if you can endure the fires that try to break you, you will become the fire that consumes everything that stands against you. The Titans were never the only enemy. They were just the face, the symbol, the easy monster for a broken world to blame. The real enemy is fear. Fear builds the walls. Fear breeds the cowards who kneel. Fear twists dreams into cages. Fear is what made this world a rotting graveyard before we even had the chance to live. And so, I will become their worst nightmare. I will break every wall. I will shatter every fortress. I will tear down every titan, every king, everyone who ever dared to say, this is all you are allowed to be. Because if the world refuses to change, then I will destroy it and build a new one from the ashes. A world without titans. A world without chains. A world where freedom is not a fantasy, but a birthright bought and paid for in blood. If I must become a monster to do it, then so be it. I will become the monster that rips their world apart. This is it. No more walls. No more waiting. No more chains disguised as peace. You know who you are. You know what you were born to do. You were born to move forward. So rise. Rise with your broken bones and burning soul. Rise with the fire of every wound you ever survived. Rise, even if the whole cursed world stands against you. As the world may outnumber you, it may curse your name, it may call you devil, monster, traitor. Let them, because while they kneel and pray for mercy, you will be the one who moves forward. Move forward. Break the walls. Smash the titans. Destroy the chains. And be free.